Hey, it's me. I haven't posted a video in a while, so I figure I should. And I figure I'll give like an update on my cystic fibrosis and all that kind of stuff, because there's kind of a lot going on. So right now, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm currently in the hospital. I came in, oh my god, it's Friday. I thought it was Thursday. It's Friday. I came in on Monday. And as long as like nothing changes, I'll be able to leave on Monday too, which is great. So like, as I've explained before, I come into the hospital pretty regularly because of my CF. And the like symptoms that go along with it is like, I get out of breath, I lose weight, I can't breathe ever, I sleep all day, I get depressed, I lose my appetite, things like that. And I was feeling really, really terrible these past few weeks. About, I think it's 3.5 weeks ago, yeah, 3.5 weeks ago I started at Symdeko, or Symdeko, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but I don't know if I ever explained it in another video, but basically most of the medications that they have for people with CF attack like the symptoms. So they have like nebulizers that help me to cough out mucus so that I don't have extra mucus in my lungs. They have nebulizers to thin out the mucus so that it's easier to get out and it's not sticking to my lungs. They have enzymes so that they help me gain weight and stuff like that. And there's a bunch more, but like they help the symptoms. Symdeko, basically, the reason that my body has all these problems is that my cells don't allow for chloride to transfer through them. And for whatever reason, it creates all these weird ass fucking things to happen to my body. But what Symdeko does is it helps my cells allow chloride to transfer through them. And so in turn it helps the symptoms, but it's not like a direct correlation, but it's fixing like the underlying issue, which is like good. That's how like, that's a step closer to like progress, because if you don't fix the root of the problem, it just keeps happening. But anyways, I started this about 3 weeks ago. And some people have like this period where it's not like when you first start it, your body's kind of like, what the fuck? And I think that might have been what happened to me, because I just went downhill really fast. And then of course, a lot of the time when I get sick, not every time, but a lot of the times it like creates this whole like depressive thing, and like, so I'm definitely like getting better from it, but I did have like a solid like week where I was just so depressed, like, and because of that I had no appetite. Like I was eating less than 1 meal a day, and I'm supposed to eat 3 to 4 meals. I'm supposed to eat over 3,000 calories a day. So then I was losing weight, and then I had no energy, and it was just like spiraling. So I'm like, you know what, I gotta go to the hospital to get on IV antibiotics. So like I said, I came in here Monday, and I'm assuming it's because of the Symdeko, but I've been healing a lot quicker than I normally do. I remember the last time I was in here, which was March, by this point, like I was beginning to feel better, but I wasn't feeling ready to go home, but like this, and they're doing the same antibiotics too, but like this time, like, I want to go home today. But I told them I'd wait till Monday, just to be safe, because they asked me like on Tuesday or Wednesday, like, do you think you'll be ready to go home Friday or Monday? I was like, we'll do Monday, just to be safe. Plus, as much as I hate CF, and as much as like CF like fucks up every part of my life, sometimes being in the hospital is nice, because I can just sit here and not think about anything, and like the nurses come in and they do my medicine and they do everything, and like I can just kind of like, obviously I still have cystic fibrosis, but I don't have the like overwhelming feelings that go with it a lot of the time. So it's nice to be able to like relax. So yeah, so in that sense I'm doing really well. But there are other things that are changing, and I might ramble a little bit, I don't know, but so like I had mentioned about the Symdeko, or Symdeko, I still don't know how it's pronounced. It causes, or it helps to fix or helps to regulate the root of the problem. And so a lot of people ask, like, oh, why don't you just get a lung transplant? Then your lungs will be fixed. But the thing is, it's the cells in my body that are attacked or whatever, like aren't functioning correctly, not like the lungs itself, if that makes sense. So let's say today they were like, here's some new lungs, and then I got them. It doesn't fix the problem. It starts it over. It's like, I just thought of this analogy the other day. I think it's so good. But like if you're playing a video game and you have to get like from point A to point B, and like you make it here and then you die and you have to start over all the way at A. So it's kind of like, it's like you're back at point A, which is like, you're not actually trying to get to point B though, like in the game. But you're back at point A, which is like where you're healthy, but you still have all these like obstacles and stuff coming at you, and it kind of just starts it over. Because right now my lungs have scar tissue. My lungs have been through a lot, and so when I get healthy, it's not from a fresh standpoint. It's starting over on a scarred lung. Whereas if I got new lungs, it'd be starting over on a fresh lungs, or like relatively fresh, you know? So it does help, but it's not like a cure. And I think like people, like when I tell them I have lung issues, blah, 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 they kind of think, oh, like that it's a cure, and it's not a cure to get a lung transplant. So the last time I was in, they mentioned to me about possibly setting up like a consultation so that they can like test my lungs and see if I would be able to go on the lung transplant list and stuff. And he wasn't like pushy, like he was just kind of like, oh, we're like recommending that most of our CF patients, if their numbers are below a certain point, that they meet with somebody about this, because they don't do lung transplants where I normally go, which is surprising because they do everything else. But he wasn't like pushy. But then this time when I came in, oh my God, I've had like 6 people ask me like, have you talked to somebody? Like, are you on a lung transplant list and stuff? So like, it's definitely pushing me towards that direction. And I should call my nurse in and see if I can get information to set up an appointment. And then on top of that, I've been getting sick so quickly and stuff, and it's been like getting worse and worse. Like 2 years ago, I might have been like 3 to 4, maybe 5 months in between hospital stays, and now it's kind of regularly every other month. So it's like getting worse, and I think a lot of that is because I don't have the time or the energy to focus on my cystic fibrosis, and so my doctors are really recommending that I go on disability, and that sounds like a simple solution, but there's just a lot like running through my mind with that. I like my job a lot. I love doing hair. I like social interaction. Like everything about my job is like good. Like I'm a hairstylist. So I like doing hair. I like people. I like the fact that when you work harder and you have busy days, you make more money. I like that people can tip you. Um, I like seeing my clients regularly, and I like being creative on their head and having them tell me that they love it. Like there's so much that I like about my job and doing hair in general, but also like specifically where I work. I enjoy working at that salon, and so um, being told to go on disability is sad for that reason. And I know there is disability where you can work and you can but you can only work a little bit, I guess, or whatever. Um, so there's that, and then there's the other fact, like with money. Like I don't know how disability works. I'm setting up an appointment to talk to somebody who helps specifically people with CF apply for disability, get disability, like all that sort of stuff. Oh, sorry, I thought I heard somebody. But like the money thing scares me too, because I recently moved out. Like I was living with a family that I grew up babysitting for, and I had extra money. I normally saved it in my savings account. Thank God. And the reason I had extra money was because I wasn't paying a big portion for rent, because they just had me pay for what I used. So it was like, I think it was like $130 a month. And then I have my car and my car insurance and gas and food and blah, blah, blah. But that was like very easy to survive financially in that environment. Now that I've moved out, my rent is like everything pertaining to the apartment is about $530 a month. Not to just be throwing my financial information out there. But like that's an extra $400 a month that I need to make sure that I have, which I do because of my job and where I work and blah, blah, blah. But now that this is changing, it's like I still have to make sure that I can still provide for myself in that way. So that money always gives me a lot of like scary feelings, because like I don't know, I always have to be good on money, or like it's just scary. Like money makes or breaks your life. So that's scary, but I'm also, I don't know, I want to be more structured. I'm very bad at being structured. And I think if I'm more structured, I can definitely save money on food. But my worry is like right now I'm feeling, because I just got healthy and I haven't been productive for weeks because I had no energy. I'm like, yes, like I want to do something. I want to be productive. I want to like run around, and I want to do all this stuff, and I'm like thinking about my life, like, okay, like I can cook at home more, and I can meal prep and all this stuff. But then I'm also trying to think of how realistic that is, because when I start to get sick, like I don't have that energy. And so a lot of the times when I get sick, I end up like either not eating at all, or getting like fast food or Chinese food instead of just cooking at home. And so I'm trying to think of realistic like expectations, and I don't know, I'm just trying to figure everything out, and it's like very confusing. And then with the whole lung transplant thing, I don't know, like that's like really scary. Like I don't know, it sounds simple, like you just get new lungs and then you're better. But it's scary to know that I'm like sick enough to need them. It's scary because it's a big procedure. Although I think it'll help a lot. Like if I like get them, like I think that will help a lot. But it also scares me because like I don't know how to explain this without being really like depressing. But as I've been getting sicker and sicker and sicker, I've kind of been lowering my expectation on how long I'm going to live, which for me, like, I mean, it kind of sucks because, like, whatever, but that's, like, it's normal to me. It's something that I have to live with. So, like, I know other people hear that and they're like, oh, don't talk about dying, but, like, bitch, I gotta, because, or I at least have to think about it for myself, because that's what is real in my life. And so as I've been getting sicker, and not to sound dramatic, but like losing hope, like every time I got healthy, I didn't get as healthy as the time before, and then every time I got sick, I got more sick than the time before. So it's like, it kind of just was like, okay, this is where you're going, and that's what's happening. And as that's been happening, I've been trying to wrap my head around what that'll be like. Not even necessarily like what it's gonna feel like to be on my deathbed, but just to have a life that doesn't extend 25 years old or 30 years old or whatever, to have my life crammed into this tiny portion knowingly, versus other people who generally get a much larger range. So because of that, I've been preparing to die, basically. And for them to tell me that they have new lungs for me and things like that, it's confusing, because it's like, oh, just kidding, like, you might have an extra 20, 30 years to add on to your life, and I'm like, well, I don't know what to do with that, because I've been expecting to not have all that. So, like, while that sounds ideal, that someone could be healthy and have an extra 20 to 30, or like whatever, I'm just making up numbers, but that someone could live an extra portion of their life, to me that just seems like blank space that, I don't know, it's just like, well, what am I, and it's not guaranteed either. And what was happening before was I was planning for a normal long life, and then I was getting really, really depressed, feeling like I'm never gonna live that. And now it's kind of the other way, but I don't wanna expect that and get disappointed. And it's, I don't know, it's weird too, because like, my friends are at the age that they're getting married, having kids, things like that, and like, that was when I was a kid, you know, I want to grow up and have kids, but like, since I was like a teenager and the reality of CF kind of hit me, I don't want kids. Yo, what the fuck? Okay, bitch, okay. Okay, sorry. Like, I don't want kids. I swear. But a large portion of that is that I never explored that idea because it never seemed realistic. There, that's better. It never seemed realistic to me, so, well, like, why should I explore that just so I can, like, cry about not being able to have kids or something? And now I'm getting this, like, information that maybe something like that is possible. Yo, it's so hot in here. Anyways, so that's just, like, one example, but it's like, I expected to have this much time, so I'm cramming my life into this much time. Now they're telling me I might have this much. And I don't know what to do with that. I have a good support system when it comes to like friends. Like I have people who listen to me and understand and take what I'm saying and feeling seriously. But when it comes to like people going through what I'm going through, I don't know a single person. And some days it doesn't bother me, but some days it's like, it'd be really nice to be able to connect with somebody on that. So, yeah, so I'm looking into getting a lung transplant. Oh, and, this is going to be a long video. Part of the reason, which I know these are just my feelings and they're kind of like inaccurate, I guess. But when it comes to the lung transplant as well, it's also that I feel like I haven't worked hard enough for it, because I'm bad at my regimen. I'm bad at doing everything I need to do to get and to stay healthy, because I had a 2-year break where I did literally nothing in order to keep myself healthy, and I'm still suffering the consequences. It's because, I mean, those are like the main things that I sorry, I thought I heard somebody. So it'd be different if they just had lungs to hand out to anyone who needed them, but I feel like I'm taking it from someone else who might be like more deserving. And I did talk, don't judge me, but oh my god, it's so hot in here and my armpits are sweating so bad. Okay, don't judge. Yeah, I feel like I'm taking it from somebody who maybe deserves it more. And I talked to my doctor, or she's the social worker. She's the one who helped me get in contact with the person about disability. She kind of deals with all that kind of stuff. But she was making sure that I had like the support that I needed. And I mean, she did help me feel better, because like with my situation, like I don't have like a lot of people, I mean, I'm only 22. A lot of 22-year-olds either still live with their parents, or like if they needed to because of medicine or blah blah blah, they like could, but like I don't really have that kind of luxury. I don't know if that's the right word, but so in order to like sustain life, I have to work and make money and stuff, and then I don't have energy or time for my treatments. So she kind of like, I don't know, she helped me with my perspective on that, and said that like I do work just as hard as these other people, but it's just in different ways because my situation's different, which I hadn't really thought about. And it was nice to hear that from her too, because a lot of the times I feel like judged by doctors for not doing what I'm supposed to do, or like not even necessarily that they're doing anything to make me feel judged, but I just feel like embarrassed, like because it sounds easy. Like a doctor can say, oh yeah, you have to do this like 3 times a day, and that's like easy and it seems easy, but then actually following through with it is really hard for me. But I always feel like there's a disconnect because the doctors don't have CF, so they feel like it's easier than I feel like it is, and I don't know if that's actually true, but that's how I feel. But that helped me feel better, which is why I'm okay with talking to that lady about disability. And like moving things forward. But it's just, I don't know, it's like, it's a lot of change. Um, and there's a part of me that feels like very hopeful right now. Like, wow, I get to work less and then really focus on my medicine, and I get to, and these are all like hypothetical, like nothing's set in stone, but I get to work less and I get to sit there and focus on my health, and I get to sit at home and eat all, like, that sounds so dumb, like I get to sit at home and eat all day, like, wow, aren't you lucky? But it's not meant to be like a lazy thing, but it's like I really need to focus on eating. I'm like 25 to 30 pounds underweight right now. I've never been this low since I was like growing up and surpassed this. So it's like I get to sit at home and focus on doing my medicine and eating, and I don't have to feel stressed out about trying to, you know, put work into that schedule too. And then there's the idea of the lung transplant, like I will get to wake up and not cough, and I'll get to sleep for more than like 2 hours at a time, and I'll gain weight and just like all this stuff. And then like on top of that, once I'm a high enough weight, I can get bottom surgery, and that opens up a whole new window of my life that has been on pause because I'm not healthy enough. And so like getting healthy will improve my life, obviously. But it's like I don't want to, like, those feelings feel good to think like that, but I don't want to think like that because I don't know that it's actually going to happen. And I spent a lot of my life, not even just with CF, but like with people and stuff, like hoping for the best or expecting the best, and then being severely disappointed. And I don't know how to balance that, because when I'm hopeful and I'm optimistic, I work harder to fight for whatever it is, whether it's like a person or my disease or my health or whatever. But then when it doesn't happen or it doesn't work out, it's like one of the most devastating feelings. But then if I stay negative or even just realistic, then I'm less likely to fight for what I deserve. But being optimistic is like, it doesn't come naturally to me anymore, and I don't know how to make that happen. So, I don't know. But those are my feelings, and to end this on a good note, I'm feeling a lot better than I did when I came in. I know I already said that, but just like, I'm really impressed how quickly I'm feeling better, because I was not expecting this quick of a recovery. So yeah, I guess that's the whole video. I'll tune in maybe tomorrow or never, or 3 months from now. I don't know, I suck. But alright, I'm done being weird. Bye.